This is the TeamClearCoat podcast. We're two friends finally doing something about our obsession with cars.
We're probably not doing it well, but it should be fun, and we might actually learn something along the way. I'm Dave.
And I'm Ian, and this is our show. So, Dave.
Ian.
Yes. Are you interrupting me? Is that what's happening?
No, go on.
Oh, okay. This is the TeamClearCoat podcast. Welcome, everyone. We usually talk about cars. And I think today we're going to talk a lot about cars.
No. I am interrupting you now.
Oh, okay.
We're not talking about cars.
Oh.
I had some crazy shit happen at my house, Ian.
Okay.
And the world needs to know about this.
All right. Well, let's hear about it.
So, I was coming home from a booze,
Okay.
right? From spending the weekend with her.
Okay.
And unpacking my car. This is Sunday, right? This is a little bit more than a week ago.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Unpacking my car, putting a load of laundry in and getting ready to go to the grocery store. Get some salad stuff for the week, some eggs, make the omelets.
Make it the omelets.
Make it the omelets, right? Car show, everybody.
Okay.
Car show. What are we drinking? Orange tea.
Orange tea, because it's going to be lit.
Yeah, this is the second show, and we all know our second shows are fun. Okay, so I go to the I go to leave for the grocery store, and I have a security door. So like there's my door, and then like the steel like security door with glass in it, right?
Right. It's one of those ones where it's like a weather variable door, right? So you can take the glass out in the summer and put the mesh up.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, right. And so when I was locking the deadbolt on that, I noticed that there was something in between like the glass and the frame above the deadbolt. And like sometimes leaves and stuff will get back there and like kind of get chewed up, right?
Yeah.
So you just kind of like, you take the glass out or you can scrape them out if it's not too bad, stuff like that. But like I poked at it with my house key and it was chocolate.
You hope.
Yeah, I hope. But I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, what is going on, right?
That's crazy.
And so like I went to the grocery store. I don't know why I just didn't go to like a full stop. What is this? Right.
Well, because if you had, you would have just gone insane.
Right.
Just on the spot.
Right. Yeah. Just random chocolate on your exterior door to your house.
Yeah, that's troubling.
Right. And so I come back and I take a look at it from the inside, and here's what I see. Let me see if I can show the people. Let's see here. Here we go. Yep. So here's what I see right here. So I took the glass out of my door.
It's so gross.
And that's chocolate and peanut butter melted all down the deadbolt of my back door.
And that's the inside.
That's the inside. So what you see right there is where the glass is, where that kind of peanut butter looks chewed up.
Yeah.
That like melted, I guess, down and like was all down. You can even see it like down on the doorknob on the bottom.
Oh yeah,
there,
there's
right.
Drip. But that's the side facing your house.
Right.
Oh man.
So I'm trying to put together in my mind what happened that caused random chocolate to show up on my house.
Yeah.
Right. And so like my neighbor had put a couple like Amazon packages behind like by my back door for me, like just a neighborly thing to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, did she just leave me like loose chocolate? Like just like set it on my door, like here's something that I hope you eat before the bugs do.
I would have gone straight to, there's something missing in my house, and this is a cat burglar's like calling card.
Okay.
They leave a chocolate stain someplace.
Okay.
And then I would have driven myself insane looking for the one thing in my house that was missing.
Right. When it turned out there was nothing at all.
Right.
Because the culprit was not that nefarious, Ian.
Oh.
There was nothing stolen from my house. In fact, somebody was trying to add something to it.
Oh.
So this is what I saw. Let's see if we can show this on the all we have to do is take this over here nowadays.
Oh no.
Oh Jesus. Okay. All right, let's see here. All right, download completed. Let's see if we can play it. All right. So here's my back door. And actually, let me say real quick.
Yeah.
I would have driven myself crazy, but I have a camera on my back door.
Yeah. Okay.
So here we go. So there's a squirrel. For podcast listeners, there's a squirrel with a effing Reese's Pieces peanut butter cup in its mouth, and it's climbed up my door, the door to my house, just stashed it up there like for the winter, I guess, and then ran off.
Oh my God.
So the fact that it like left a partially nibbled Reese's peanut butter cup, like how do you eat no one eats part of a Reese's peanut butter cup.
Well, but it was caching it for the winter, right?
Right. It got to the nut part and it thought, oh, this is the part I need to save.
Oh, maybe. Maybe.
If you zoom in, you can see that it ate the chocolate from around it. Also, the weird little hump that it does on my door is odd. See that? See that?
Yeah, it's super weird. I wonder maybe if it was trying to pull it out, if it had gotten stuck.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Let's see. How do we zoom in on this thing? Video.
Oh, this is exciting stuff right now.
Yeah, let's go double on this thing. Oh, yeah, I guess not. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's not working. You're changing the
volume. Yeah.
That is super crazy though.
So yeah.
And so then the sun melted it.
Yep. It sat in the sun and the sun melted it down the inside of my door and caused me to almost lose my damn mind. The squirrel dropped it off while I was at home, while I was in my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
You'd like to think that something that weird can't happen while you're in your own home.
Now, the question is, would it have been better if you had arrived home to that?
Right. To the squirrel?
Well, no. To just that sitting on the outside of your door.
Oh, there you go. That
like with nibbles around it. Like,
right.
What the hell?
Right.
Someone broke into my backyard to leave me a partially eaten Reese's?
Exactly. Right? Yeah. Yeah.
The weirdest shit happens to you, man. The weirdest shit.
I get the best Lyft drivers and the weirdest shit happens to me. Yeah, because remember, I was driving around and a gentleman asked me if I rap.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Yeah. Right?
Which gives me a chance to repeat my best ever joke on this show, that your rapper name would be DJ SPF 50.
MCT Affy.
Oh, MC SPF 50. That's right.
Yeah. So weird stuff happens to me, and so this is one pro for the Internet of shit.
Yeah.
Right?
It really
having
is.
a web-enabled camera on your house.
This is the one argument I've ever seen that I'm like, oh yeah, okay.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I'm glad you had that.
I'm on board now.
Yeah, just because I can turn my lights on and off from my phone. Like,
right.
Yeah. But
it's insane.
Right? Oh. Yeah. Car show. Yeah.
Are you going to bring it back to cars? We got car stuff to talk about now?
Do we? I don't know. My laptop went to sleep. I need to wake it up with my face.
It says in front of me that we're going to get wet with Dave.
Let's do a table of contents for our podcast listeners.
Oh, let's do that.
I'm going to take chocolate off of the screen because it
looks disgusting.
Melted chocolate is just disgusting.
Yeah, so we talked about your security nonsense.
Yeah.
And then we have a getting wet with Dave.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll play some FMK cars.
Sure.
And then I have thoughts, capital T thoughts.
This is beyond the shower.
About episode 1 of the Grand Tour, which we're going to talk about.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And then I'll have an FMK cars for you, and I think that's what we're going to do. All right. This is the second show that we've recorded 2 in a row. These second ones get a little weird. So
sometimes they get punchy because Dave gets sleepy.
Oh, we're up past the witching hour.
To drag us later and into more of a tangent, there is a piece of canon about you at our house now.
Oh, okay.
Is that Nico has started getting upset when I leave the house.
Sure.
If I'm not there for bedtime or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I have to explain to him that Mr. Dave gets sleepy.
Okay.
And when he gets sleepy, he gets way too silly to actually do anything that we're supposed to do.
Okay.
And so now when Nico doesn't want me to leave, he just starts crying and saying, just let Mr. Dave get too sleepy.
Does he think you're leaving to take care of me?
Yes.
That's what picture are you painting?
No,
in the mind of your toddler.
Then I have to go help Mr. Dave with something.
Okay.
I have to go help Mr. Dave.
Oh my God, he must think I'm a maniac codependent.
No, I don't know. Who knows?
Right, true.
Who knows?
True.
He thinks you're the coolest person ever because you show up with toy cars every time you come to my house.
He is very wrong.
And you are the base unit of measure for him. So it's whatever.
I love how integrated I am into your child's life with minimal contact at best.
Yeah. It doesn't take much.
The kids are sponges, man.
Yeah, they're not hard when
Right.
you're not ultimately responsible for them.
True.
They're pretty easy.
Oh, no, I just show up with toy cars like, make
Right.
us smile, and then I'm out the door.
Right.
Right.
Easy.
Yeah, that's easy. Yeah. Oh, diaper change? Over to daddy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That gets sticky.
So,
1,000-yard stare.
Well, thank you for painting this picture of just a hapless, incapable, sleep-deprived
Well,
Mr.
no,
Dave.
it's more. The only
Honestly, it's not that far from the truth. Ian.
All right, let's move.
Okay,
let's move
I've
on.
been up since 4.
I know. I'm sorry. Let's move on.
No,
Okay,
no.
we'll move on.
It's fine. It's fine. Okay, Ian. So we've had Getting Wet with Ian. These are Ian's shower thoughts.
Just to be clear, I did not endorse naming that.
You
naming
completely
those.
supported the name.
I definitely did not.
You said double down on that name, Dave.
Let's
Ian,
get it in
let's
writing.
both put chapstick on.
Oh, okay.
Right now.
Oh,
This is
It's winter in Colorado, folks.
Yeah, there's probably like one like weird fetishist that was like, they finally did it. That was their thing.
Yeah, what if this is the video that like really launches us and it's the chapstick people?
Right. Yeah, like the one episode that we had something about feet in the title, and like that got a lot of downloads. And they were disappointed.
All of you people are gross.
They were disappointed.
Yeah.
Okay. So Getting Wet with Ian. This is when you're having shower thoughts.
Yes.
Right? So they're not maybe like completely fleshed out ideas.
Right.
Right? Just kind of stuff that like is noodling around in your head as you're soaping your down parts.
Usually, at best, half-baked.
Right.
Correct, yes.
At best, half-baked. So I was getting out of the shower the other day, and I realized I had been having some shower thoughts. I was getting wet with myself.
That's half the battle right there. That's half the battle.
Recognizing that it's happening.
So admit you have a problem.
So this is Getting Wet with Dave. So obviously we live in a very politically fraught time, right?
It's a good start.
Right, exactly. Let's start with an upper. So we live in a period of time with a lot of division.
Okay.
Right? In our communities, politically, culturally, there is a lot of division. And I was just reflecting back on like division in general and division in car culture.
Okay.
Right? And I was thinking about this is all half-baked. I was thinking about the digital divide, right?
Mm-hmm.
People that are on one side of it or another, right?
Right, and the digital divide
is
like people who are connected to the internet,
right?
People who don't have access to the internet, and it's a growing gulf between these two groups of people.
Absolutely, and the key takeaway from the thought that I had was that as technology progresses, that divide only widens and deepens.
Yes,
right.
Correct.
And so to get somebody across the digital divide has never been harder because they are dealing with not just rudimentary technology, but technology that's so advanced that it's really like the more advanced it gets, I think the more unapproachable it is to a certain segment of people on the other side of the digital divide. I wouldn't say that about all because a lot of technology is about accessibility.
Right, that's what I was saying. Like the smart
right?
speaker thing.
Right.
Is what I keep coming back to because my mother-in-law has one.
Right, exactly, right? So that is a weird bridge on the digital divide.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But I would consider that more of an outlier, a very maliciously marketed and well-crafted outlier.
Absolutely.
Right?
I agree
Alexa's,
with all of that.
Yeah, because my mother has an Alexa.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I was thinking about this with division in car culture, right?
Okay.
And I was thinking back to I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of somebody that is kind of on the other side of the digital divide, because I think that there are some aspects of technology where I'm perfectly fine staying on my side of the quote unquote divide, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm perfectly fine staying away from smart speakers for one. Right?
Yeah.
Recording devices that listen to you in your home.
Yeah.
Right? So I was thinking about if back in the day when the technological leap was, say, something from fuel injection to carburation, or carburation to fuel injection.
Right.
That was a leap, and that caused individuals to take sides, or individuals to be okay with either one, or they were just apathetic, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think that added a rock in the stack of what could be a divide in the future, right? It's kind of like a building block.
Right.
And so I was just trying to think through the elements of car culture that have built up over time that make it harder for people to bridge the gap from an older school mentality of carbureted, hot rods, muscle cars, things like that, to crazy turbochargers and,
Yeah.
right? And I was just thinking that as technology progressed for a certain segment of that population on the other side of X divide, whether it be digital, automotive, whatever, that it got harder to make that leap, and it was far more intimidating.
So I think there's two ways to look at this.
Okay.
So I think there is definitely the examples that you cited and the way that cars as they've developed have gone over the last 30 years.
Right.
Have definitely made a few things harder and increased the divide.
Yes.
And mostly around DIY culture,
right,
and modding culture and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Where that's now much more intimidating. Whereas before you could just you're just cramming air and fuel in, and
right,
you
exactly,
kind of tinker in your driveway.
Right. Yeah. People would cut leaf springs,
Right.
Right. Yeah.
But at the same point, I think it's now much easier to be a car enthusiast.
Right.
Because to be a car enthusiast, you only have to enjoy driving or enjoy looking at cars or enjoy fixing cars or whatever it is you enjoy. There's all those are different ways to be a car enthusiast. So access to cars is now easier because they're fuel injected.
Right.
Because they're you don't have to tune them up.
Right. Exactly. The very progress that made it easier to own is something that enables outside access.
Yes.
Right.
And, cars now last much, much longer. So that means used cars are cheaper.
Right.
And it makes makes enthusiast cars more accessible to more people.
Right. They're safer. The accidents are less
We're
horrific.
losing fewer enthusiasts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I think, I don't know, this is actually going to dovetail really nicely with my...
Is it? Okay.
With my thoughts about...
Were you in there with me? There was a lot of hair in the drain.
Maybe. But yeah, I think...
Who soaped my bag?
My whole thing is about how progress is viewed.
Okay.
And how, when you look backwards, it's easy to get in the trap of, not just enjoying the thing that you've lost, but also decrying what's come since.
Okay.
Right? And I think those are two different thoughts, and sometimes we lump them together.
Okay.
Right? So, and I think that your example of carburetors to fuel injection is often the same sort of thing, right? Where, people will look back on carbureted era cars as a golden age.
Right.
We've lost something.
Right, exactly.
And I'm not saying that we haven't lost anything.
Right.
But we've gained this.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So those were my shower thoughts.
Okay. That's very funny because it's very... let's just get right into mine because it's amazing how well they dovetail.
I think you were in there with me.
I might have been. It might have been that video camera that I set up in there.
With your little robot hand to
This is just a little loofah that goes. Yeah.
Detecting pale ginger skin, scrubbing appropriately.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk about episode 1 of the Grand Tour on the Amazon.
Episode 1, season 3?
Season 3, yes.
Okay.
Season 3, episode 1
Okay.
that just aired. It was very entertaining.
Sure.
It was great.
I haven't watched it.
I have some problems.
Okay.
So it's another Clarkson problem.
Yeah, I tapped out season 2, episode 1 or 2.
Yeah, you got really angry about something. I don't remember what it was. Exactly.
Using the word vagina as a pejorative.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. Not cool.
Yeah, I remember that.
You're better than that.
Yeah. And this is another example of that kind of just like lazy sort of writing.
All right.
So
yeah, let's hear it.
They went for episode 1, they went to Detroit.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And they had 3 modified muscle cars. So there was
Sure.
a Hellcat Demon.
Okay.
There was an RTR Mustang.
Oh, yeah.
And then there was a Hennessy Camaro.
Oh, sure.
Right. And it, of course,
Yeah.
it was fun and crazy, and they did all sorts of crazy challenges, and it was fun.
Okay.
But the framing of it, of like why they went there, they always have to have like an angle about why they went there, which
for the locations, you need to.
I understand that.
It adds an extra element, yeah.
The framing of it was that Detroit has been ruined by all of these basically hipsters planting vegetable gardens where there used to be houses and factories.
Sure.
And that, this is where like V8 should run and blah, 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 America, whatever.
Right.
And it got me like way more angry than I'm ever angry at Jeremy Clarkson for some reason. I think part of it might have been that we just were in Detroit. And
right.
That's like where my wife's family is from. And I spent 5 years not far from there.
Right.
And I feel like I have a little bit of ownership in that place.
Yeah.
But it's just so, like, I'm not saying that we haven't, that obviously things have been lost in Detroit.
Sure.
But first of all, it's mostly at the hands of the car companies that you're celebrating.
Right. Exactly.
Right? They're like more than a little bit of the cause of what's been going on.
Absolutely.
And
give me an example of that real quick, like moving factories out, like what?
Yeah, moving factories out, just mismanagement, not seeing the oil crisis coming and not being able to react in a timely manner is the biggest thing.
Okay.
Because that decline started 45 years ago.
Right. Okay.
That's the biggest thing.
Right. And they're celebrating these manufacturers and these cars in the city where these kinds of things, these mismanagement and stuff like that got.
And then having the balls to say like, well, how dare these people now plant gardens where these factories used to be.
Right.
But like, what else are you supposed to do? You're just supposed to.
Were you going to make another factory like and ignore?
Right.
Yeah.
And so I was approaching it as like, I recognize this is the boomer tendency towards nostalgia that I think I've finally like figured out what it is about boomer nostalgia in particular that annoys me. And I think it's that they tie looking back of something they liked with something that's happening now that they don't like.
Okay, right.
And you know what I mean? The bitching about millennials and all that sort of stuff to me is very similar to what Clarkson was engaging in
absolutely
in that episode. And like the moralizing about the 60s versus now or whatever.
Sure. I mean, like, not to like completely overblow this again, but like, does any of it hook into like one of the insane reasons that the whole Make America Great Again had such fucking traction with a certain segment of the population?
Oh, of course it does.
That's the whole again in that sentence.
Right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point. It's a very reactionary sort of impulse to like say, to look back with fondness, which is fine on its own.
You need to. It's healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are things obviously to celebrate about V8 cars from the 60s.
And Detroit from the 60s.
Yeah, from the 1600s to the 1960s.
Exactly.
It was this amazing city. And but to then like shit on people who are trying to rebuild in the aftermath of the of the thing you're celebrating.
Right, exactly.
Is just real dumb and shitty.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah.
So it made me angry. And it just that's where I think nostalgia loses me.
Right.
Right. When I say nostalgia is a garbage emotion,
right.
That's what I mean.
Right. Right.
When you complain about the aftermath of your own mistakes, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like that. Complaining about the aftermath of your own mistakes. Yes. Ian. Yeah. I don't know. There's just a certain, I don't know. What do you think we're going to look back on? What do you think that we're going to be nostalgic on?
Right now?
Yeah.
Not much. Like personally, there'll be stuff that I'll be nostalgic about.
Me as well. Yeah.
But
like peanut butter melting on my door.
Yeah.
I'll think back. Isn't that a simpler time?
Right.
Yeah. When squirrels
as you're like poking a zombie in the face.
When squirrels still existed.
Right. Yeah.
Before we had to use them all for food.
Yeah. When a Reese's cup could last outside for more than 10 seconds.
So I think that one thing about this is that the thing that prevents nostalgia from going wrong, and I think that with emotions in general, the thing that prevents them from going wrong or prevents them from doing us or others harm unintentionally is empathizing and pointing some of that back at ourselves, introspection in ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? Or empathizing with, like, so if you're bitching about somebody that's planting an herb garden in Detroit because like, and not taking into account that person's like 20 years old, maybe.
Right.
They moved there with like $500, but they could get a house for $200.
Right.
Right. And so they're just making the best of what they can, and they're just doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Without putting yourself into their shoes, and then just thinking about how you would react in that situation, or how you would handle it. Then nostalgia can completely run away from you.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, but what about the thing I like, Dave?
See?
What about the thing that I like? I like the thing that goes vroom vroom.
Right. Right.
And I'm owed that.
Right.
When I visit a city I don't fucking live in.
Right. Right. Exactly. Right. And rightly so that raises the hackles on you.
Yeah, absolutely it does.
Yeah.
I mean, I am the first one to bitch about Michigan being a hellhole, but
you live there.
But I lived there, and I have family there, and to hear, Jeremy fucking Clarkson do it.
Yeah.
Raise the old hackles.
No, rightly so. And I think that this is one of the magical things, and one of the things that the world really lost when Anthony Bourdain killed himself, right?
Yeah.
Because I think whenever he would go to a city, there was always that little bit of tension, like when he did Kansas City, for me, obviously, right? Near and dear to my heart, especially my father's heart, right? So that city always will have a special place for me, even though I would never move back there.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
So like that tension of, oh God, I hope he's going to do it like justice, or I hope he's going to see at least a fraction of what I see in that place I like.
Right.
Right? And also, like, he could do that. He could show people that he understood and got those things, but was also very pragmatic and honest about how time marches on in a lot of places.
Yeah. The way
specifically Detroit.
Yeah. The way that he approached progress.
Yeah.
Versus tradition.
Yeah.
Which is essentially what you were talking about in your first point about, carburetors versus fuel injection. That's basically what we're talking about.
Right, right.
Can you embrace progress and see the good in progress while also appreciating the things that used to be cool?
Right.
You know?
You can if you
course.
if you put enough energy into it.
You just have to be able to hold more than one fucking thought in your head at once.
Right, or put yourself in someone else's shoes for a second.
Right.
Right? Yeah.
Jeremy Clarkson.
Yeah, dude, I've been off of that guy for a while. You know?
The problem is that he is so... Like, he was so important to me as a car enthusiast.
Right.
Like, finding Top Gear when I did.
Sure, me
in
too.
My life,
yeah.
And his writing when I did.
Right.
Like, he is... You cannot escape him.
Right.
He is essentially the Roger Ebert of car journalism.
Yeah.
But the problem is that he's still around.
Yeah.
You know, he's not the Beatles, he's the Rolling Stones, and he's still on fucking tour.
He's Andy Rooney.
But Andy Rooney was never like that cool, I think is where that analogy falls
Actually,
apart.
you know, I don't know. I don't know about Andy Rooney's early days. Maybe he was a fucking shotgun. I
think he came out like that.
Yeah.
I think he just like
you
popped.
know what I do when somebody sends me junk mail? I send it back to them. I put it in my bills that I mail in.
Speaking of being up with the times and progress, Andy Rooney impressions, everyone.
You can't tell me that one was awful.
It was really good. That's what's so troubling.
All right, let me do my 20-minute Andy Rooney.
Let me tease my eyebrows first. Hold on.
Yeah, get some face caterpillars out to Scorsese level out here. Yeah. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry that that raised some hackles. Rightly so, Ian.
Yeah, I think
so. I'm sorry. I have to ask. Did you take to the internets to see if anybody echoed your thoughts?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
No, I'm all internet outraged out.
Sure.
I'm very exhausted by that.
I have to say, so I don't follow a lot of automotive journalists on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
I have Steph and Alanis King and Balaban and some Jalopnik folks. And nothing bubbled up in my view about it. But then again, it's pretty narrow view by design.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't go looking, and I think if you go looking for anything, you'll find it. But
yeah,
especially on Twitter.
Oh yeah, There, I saw something. I wonder if someone else on the internet is angry about it. You're gonna find that person.
Yeah, absolutely. It's basically like Rule 34, right?
Yeah, but for way less self-esteem. Yeah, and way less sleep.
And definitely way less enjoyment.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah. Because at least they have that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Chapstick.
Oh, okay. Cheers. Chapstick, cheers. It's winter. It's winter in Colorado.
It's winter in Colorado.
Don't worry about it.
We're all
It's
very
fine.
dry.
It's fine. Ow.
Let's see here.
I have FMK cars. I want to play FMK cars.
Okay. All right. Okay. Ian, we can play FMK cars, and because that's a game that we play on the show. I miss it, Ian. I'm
the last episode. Dave gave me a lot of trouble. Which, by the way, I know it's a week ago, your guys' time, but it was literally, or maybe it was next week. We don't know what our order we're gonna release these. It was like 3 hours ago. He was like, "Well, if you had said it,
I would be right there with the description." Guess who wasn't?
Sleepy Dave.
Yeah, Ian. It's 10:05.
Mr. Dave is too sleepy, and he gets very silly.
Yeah, so Dad needs to leave the house and calm down his adult male friend. He's gonna write a short story about this, and you're gonna have a very concerned teacher. It's gonna look like you're stepping out on your wife for a tryst with a ginger, Ian. Oh, every night you have to go to this gentleman's house to put him to bed.
I never said I put you to bed. Well, that's a good one. I might use that one next.
Mr. Dave needs me to tuck him in. Smash cut to Nico, like 40 years old. Like, I can't go to sleep unless a hairy man tucks me in.
Well, he'll still need me then. Mission accomplished. That's what parenting's all about, right?
Exactly, to increase that dependency for their lifetime.
Yes.
Yeah. Well done, Ian. Well played.
I'm going to play an FMK Cars.
FMK Cars is a game that Ian and Dave play on the Team Clearcoat podcast. Is based on the classic game Fuck, Marry, Kill, but instead of playing it with people like gross people do, we play it with cars. F means you drive it for a day, you hit it and quit it. M means you marry it. It is your daily driver, warts and all. K means you kill it, you crush it, you never see it again.
Correct.
Ian's going to give me 3 cars. I'm going to decide FMK between the 3. Ian.
I'm trying to decide if we have actually done this one already on a previous episode. But that's fine. Whatever.
Okay.
If you've heard this before, just stop me and we'll pick something else.
Okay.
This one's called Baby It's Cold Outside.
Okay. First of all, when you say stop me, we'll play something else. Stop me, we'll play something else that we've also previously played on the
But
show.
like longer ago. It's fine.
Okay.
It's
all right.
fine.
Well, it's starting with a Barry Manilow reference, so I'm good with that.
Baby It's Cold Outside. Barry Manilow.
Yeah,
That
he
was-
did a cover of that song.
okay.
Yeah.
No, like really, it's way too effing cold out. Why are we in Detroit? Cars introduced at the very last January-based Detroit Auto Show.
Oh, I don't think we've done this.
Okay, so I don't know if you know, this is the last time that the Detroit Auto Show will be held in January, which
Oh, really?
yeah, it has been for like decades.
We need to go to the Detroit Auto Show sometime.
It'd be great.
Yeah.
So they're going to move it to the summer because nobody likes going to Detroit in January.
No shit.
It's cold. All right, so the 2020 Toyota Supra
Oh,
was
okay.
introduced
Okay.
at this auto show.
All right.
Wah, wah.
Wah,
You're going to have to
wah.
not go.
For free images.
But it's going to be all like
Toyota's
from
website.
Toyota.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Please don't autoplay a video.
Yeah.
Please don't autoplay a video.
There you go.
Okay.
Boom, look
All
at
right.
that.
Oh, you know what? I got to show the people. Here we go.
There you go.
All right. Cool.
The BMWs. I mean, Toyota Supra.
Exactly.
All right. And then the next one, the new Ford Mustang GT500.
Okay. GT 500.
Mm-hmm. It'll be the 2020,
Okay.
the brand new one.
All right.
20. Yeah, there we go. Just go to car and driver.
Car and driver
Car
will
and
show us
driver.
what it is.
Car
Okay.
and driver.
It's got an Audi mouth on it.
It does, yeah.
Yep.
700 over 700 horsepower.
Dear Lord.
Yeah, it's going to be insane.
Okay.
All right. And then the last one is the Subaru STI STI S209.
2020 STI 209.
S209.
S209.
Oh, it's a
good enough.
2019. There
Okay.
you go.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And that is it's basically kind of like the BRZ TS was, like it's a special edition.
Gotcha.
It's got the big wing on the
Big
back.
wing.
But it's not like a huge boost in power or anything
Okay.
like that. It's basically like this is the last hurrah before we do the new one.
Okay. All right. Cool. FMK. I don't know about the Supra.
I think we should talk about the Supra.
We should
even
talk
though
about the
everybody in the world has already talked about the
They
Supra.
have.
We're gonna do it too.
We're going to do it too. Ian,
Yes.
I think I'm going to kill the Subaru STI. I'm going to F the Mustang because I'd only
Yes.
be able to tolerate that for a day.
Yeah.
I'm a Mustang. I would just stab out the little lights that shine the horse on the floor. Yeah, and then I think I would marry the Toyota Supra.
I think you've chosen exactly correctly.
That's what you would do as well?
Yes.
What do we need to talk about the new Supra?
Well,
It looks weird.
it does look weird. It's also so do you care about the Toyota racing heritage piece of this? Because like the GT86 was done, has a Subaru engine.
Right.
And then this car is a BMW Z4.
Right.
It just is
Right.
underneath and in the interior and everything. Do you care about that? Or are you just happy that Toyota is making a sports car?
I'm happy that Toyota is making a sports car for sure,
Yeah.
right? Because I think that they were really falling into being a very boring brand,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I would rather see them do what Nissan does and have a CEO that embezzles. No. I would rather have them do what Nissan does, where there's a couple different, more exciting passenger cars. You know, yeah. I don't know. I think it's. I don't know if they're. Yeah, I don't know. Ian. This one's not baked in me yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? Give me your takes on it. I don't feel like there's a wrong take on it yet.
Yeah, I feel like I'm disappointed that they're not throwing their engineering efforts behind their own flavor of sports car, because
Right.
I do think like
They've always had a unique spin on it.
yeah, we need like cool front drive sports cars. We
Yeah.
need cool lightweight rear drive sports cars. We need cool, weird grand touring machines like these things all like the Supras always have been.
Right.
We don't need more German E
Right. I knew what you meant. Yeah.
sports cars.
Yeah.
Because we have lots of those.
Right.
They're from Germany.
True.
So I don't really know. It's kind of like the car stanza thing, right?
Okay. All right.
So like if you care enough about the Supra,
Right.
then you already know that it's a Z4.
Right.
So who is it for? Who are you making the car for?
Right. For somebody that doesn't mean anything to them. If they enjoy the feeling of it behind the wheel, then that's it. I think it begins and ends at that.
Yeah, but I mean,
For that person.
yes, but I feel like that's a pretty small. Then why call it the Supra?
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
I don't know. It's a weird. It's kind of a weird thing. But I on the other hand, just happy that someone's making a sports car.
Right. Okay. So let's try to map this onto what if another brand did something similar.
Yeah.
Okay. So like let's say Nissan's heritage of Z cars, right?
Mm-hmm.
240, 260, 280, 300, 350, 370.
Yeah.
What if for some reason that next one was based on
Right.
a Mercedes SLK or
Right.
a
The
Z-
400 is a Mercedes SLK.
Right.
That would be disappointing.
It would be.
It would be because
Right? I think it loses.
I'm going to look back with nostalgia and think that something is lost.
Well, I think that part of the reason that I want a Nissan Z car is because it's a Nissan Z car. Right?
Right. And I think, to go back, I'm going to bring it back to our like dichotomy of looking back versus progress. You're not building something new.
Right.
You want, if there's going to be progress, you want it to actually be progress. You want it to actually be something new.
Right.
And with the new Supra, they haven't built something new.
Right.
They're just, putting a new body on something.
What do you think
They're dabbling in nostalgia completely.
and coach building?
Right. It's nostalgia because they're not building a new thing.
Right.
They're only selling the Supra name essentially.
Right.
Right. So that's the difference.
Okay. I'd want it to be a Toyota though.
Did we cram enough things through this one discussion that we had?
So I think that I'm trying to think of how this came about, right? How the new Supra came about, because is it a question of building our own new platform or developing our own new platform was a mixture of being too expensive, being too risky, because they had such a big thing to live up to?
Well, it was being done for like years.
Oh, yeah.
Years and years. And I think that I remember the first news I heard about it with BMW was that they were going to be joint developing it.
Right.
And it wasn't going to be BMW is going to develop the Z4.
Right. Right.
And then the Supra is going to be built on top of it.
Right.
And, maybe it's going to be enough of a personality change between the two that it won't matter.
Right.
But it's still slightly disappointing because Toyota does have the resources if they wanted to.
That's the thing.
To do
if they
something
wanted
like
to,
this.
right?
You know?
I wonder if they were just afraid to.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's how I take it. I feel like they had such a huge name to live up to that maybe they could just never get anything off the ground because everything that was being thrown against the wall was being taken down as potentially not living up to the Supra name.
Right, so then just do something new.
Right, like what if they
Call
just
it
made
something else.
yeah, the Toyota Maxinake. They name it after a Tricky album. Right?
Yeah.
Right? That's what I'm wondering. If they would have had an easier time developing something other than a Supra that actually out-Supra'd this Supra.
Right.
Right?
I agree. I see. I like where you're going with that.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, well.
I don't know, Ian.
Who knows? Sleepy time.
I'm very tired. Now we're getting the yawning fetishes in.
It says here that you have an FMK cars for me.
I do, Ian. I have an FMK cars for you.
I want to hear about it. Should I take control, or are you going to do it?
I'll do some quick Googling.
Okay.
Ian,
Yes.
this one is called, and this is something I stole from an old Onion headline.
Okay.
Buddy system responsible for additional death. So in this, you get a car, and you get... Ian, now that we are among the automotive journalistic elites...
Oh, of course, yeah.
Right?
For sure.
This one is themed after our fellow automotive journalists.
Okay.
Okay?
All
I
right.
hope they never hear us call them...
Fellow.
that we were
Like that
fellows.
that we're colleagues, yeah.
First up, Matt Farah
Okay.
and his Fox Body Mustang.
Okay, yeah.
F-A-R-A... F-A...
R-R? Oh,
F-A-
F-A-R-A-H.
H.
Yep.
Fox Body. Okay?
Yep.
It's a rad Fox Body Mustang.
Which he sold.
Okay? That he no longer has.
Yes.
All right? Okay, so every time you're driving the car, Matt's in it with you.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Okay? All right. Second up, Ian, I'm going to give you a Subaru SVT.
With Mr. Regular.
You're absolutely right.
Okay.
Okay? SVX. I'm sorry. That's what
I knew what you meant.
Yep. Thank you. I think that you just illustrated an excellent aspect of what I consider conversational courtesy. Like sometimes it's more important just to let the conversation move along than to correct somebody when you both know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a very nice thing.
It's hard on the show to do that because you have to balance it with like, will everybody else know what the hell we're talking about?
Exactly. No, you're exactly right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So Subaru SVX, all right, and Mr. Regular in the passenger seat.
Okay. That's
Okay.
a really clean one.
Lastly, I'm going to give you a Mitsubishi 3000 GT VR4
Oh.
with our good buddy Doug DeMuro.
Oh, okay.
Okay, this I was trying to think of cars or car reviews that I thought of when I thought of these individual journalists.
Okay.
And so I really think of Mr. Regular and the Subaru SVX. That video is one of the best in my opinion.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I think that there's a little dash of nostalgia thrown in there because he's talking about the effort that it takes to maintain something like that.
Yeah.
And recognizing it for what it is.
Yep. Absolutely.
And Doug DeMuro did a great video about the 3000 GT.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
I love
here we
that
go.
car. It's so irrationally.
It's so 90s. It is peak 90s.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So every time you drive it, Doug's in the car with you. Okay? You've got Matt in his Fox Body Mustang that we can't see anymore. No thanks. There we go.
Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is
It's going to hurt.
it's going to hurt because I have to crush the SVX.
Oh, okay. Why is that?
I'm very intrigued by those cars, but I don't feel the need to drive one.
Really? Okay.
Like at all.
Okay. All right.
I don't know, especially compared to the other two.
Sure.
I just don't
I get that.
I don't feel the need to drive it.
That is a really clean one. And it didn't have that wing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one here has the wing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that too.
Right?
So for a day I'm going to drive the Fox Body.
Okay, with Matt. Okay.
With Matt, because I think that would be so much fun to do a track day
Yeah.
and have him point out all the ways I'm a shitty driver.
And I could just see you two getting your weird square cut pizza and having a good old fashioned time.
What does that mean?
Like it's just the two of you like connecting, having a beer, talking about the car,
Okay.
getting your pizza. I think the two of you would get along smashingly.
Maybe. I don't know. I have no idea. I've never talked to him.
Yeah.
And then
I would like to say he's one of the automotive journalists that has never backed down from politics in automotive journalism.
That's true.
And I think that like his voice is very clear.
Yes.
And I think that you two would really get along.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Because I do admire his writing and just his presence and voice in
Automotive, yeah.
Yeah.
In culture as a whole.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
But I'm going to marry the 3000 GT because I have such an irrational love for that car.
Okay.
And I know all of the ways in which it's a bad idea,
Right.
but
You may cross paths with one at some point.
yeah. And plus, if I was with Doug all the time,
Uh-huh.
I would always be the best dressed one in the car.
Oh, because that's what's important, Ian.
We very much love you, Doug. I'm giving you a hard time.
Yeah.
He's not listening to this.
No.
I don't know why I'm saying
No.
that. He's been on the show a couple times though, and we always have great discussions.
He's a fantastic dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
What would you do?
You know, I think I would do the I would marry the Fox Body Mustang and Matt.
Oh, really? Okay.
And I think for a day I would probably do Doug and the 3000. And then I hate to do it, but I think I might kill Mr. Regular.
yeah.
And that hurts.
Yeah.
There's no easy way out.
There is not.
Let's just say the journalist doesn't die with the car.
Well, no.
Wait,
what?
We're not murdering people. Now I spring this on you.
Wait, what?
What? Yeah. No, the Mitsubishi 3000 GT, man. Can you imagine being a car salesman in the late 90s, just hopped up on awful cocaine, hawking those
Yeah, I mean,
to trust fund kids?
yeah, I don't know.
Right?
It's such a cool car. I don't know why, but it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that for you is my FDRX7.
Right.
Yeah.
A bit.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, like there was a teacher in my middle school who had one, and she
Yeah.
was the coolest person ever
Yeah.
because of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
Nice, Ian.
what else do we have to talk about?
I think we've done a car show. What
Did
do
we
you think?
do a car show?
Do you think we've done a car show?
I think we've done a car show. Do you think we've done a car show?
If we're asking ourselves, then no, we haven't, and yes, we have. Ian.
It's everything all at once and nothing
Exactly.
as well.
Right?
I just want to bring up really quickly
Sure.
my texting with
Yes.
we'll just say with a friend of the show because I don't want to blow up his spot.
Yes.
Especially since I was making fun of him for something that he's doing now. But I was in a group text and someone happened to joke about Terrence Malick doing the next Fast and the Furious movie. And I wrote a very short
You
over
did.
text spec script for this, and I would like to share it, if that's okay. Can I just do a
Absolutely,
dramatic
please.
reading of it?
Yeah, I wish I had dramatic music to play for you.
So this is, if Terrence Malick directs the next Fast and the Furious movie, this is what it's, the opening sequence.
Yes.
A hand gently caresses some wheat as the sun bursts through the stalks. And as we pull back, we see it's Paul Walker with the one look he was capable of on his face. And then with voiceover, Vin Diesel says, "It was always about family." I can't do a Vin Diesel. Can you do a Vin Diesel? It was always about family.
It was always about family.
That's perfect. And our sick burnouts just don't seem the same without him.
And our sick burnouts just don't seem the same without him.
Okay, you went up to
I am Groot.
So we're going to do one last thing, and hopefully we find our brother and some answers.
And some answers.
Time to visit the drag strip in the sky. And then the serenity of the wheat field and Paul with his dumb face is broken by the sound of a 1970 Dodge Charger breaking through the pearly gates and doing a huge skid through the wheat field with it just bouncing off the rev limiter. And then we cut to the title card, Too Slow, Too Pensive, a film by Terrence Malick. Guitar solo. Let's see.
That joke is for 3 people.
I know. People who enjoy Terrence Malick films enough to have seen more than one.
Uh-huh.
And people who like cars and people who like Fast and the Furious movies.
Yeah.
It's a very small overlap.
Yeah.
And I think it's in this room.
Yeah, I think you're right. And maybe 1 or 2 people on your phone.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Ian.
So this has been Team Clearcoat.
And if you were looking for a taste of us, you got it.
Yeah. So if you want more of this, TeamClearCoat.com has the particulars, the media social, the YouTubes, the iTunes.
Yep. Subscribe to us on those.
Tell some friends. Call our hotline.
720-515-1391.
We can also take texts and all of that.
Yep.
So we'll play your things on the show.
Yes.
And send us your FMK cars ideas.
Absolutely.
TeamClearCoat@gmail.com.
Yes, we'll play them on the show.
Correct. I am going to go to bed. How about you?
I think I fell asleep for a second just back there. Ian.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
Good night, everybody.
I'm just going to papoose myself in one of the blankets from the blanket fort. Right on the show.
Good night, everybody. We love you.
We absolutely do.